All right. Well, the Ryder Cup is back, bringing together the best golfers from the U.S. and Europe in one of the sport's most high-stakes competitions. The first foursome matches kick off tomorrow morning, followed by four-ball in the afternoon. Joining us now is Patrick McDonald, golf writer at CBS Sports. Welcome, Patrick.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, the Ryder Cup is one of golf's most intense competitions. So what makes it so different from the usual tournaments that we see year-round?
Oh, gosh, really just about everything, right? Especially here in the U.S., we only get to see the Ryder Cup on home soil every 4 years, kind of the same cadence as the Olympics, with it being every other year, with it going back to Europe. And I think the intensity of it, players liken every single hole to the final hole of a major championship. And you add in the team component as well, the rivalries that spur from this competition. You look at Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy already talking back and forth a little bit. Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler have played each other in Sunday singles, and players really make a career out of the Ryder Cup if they're able to play up to the moment. Look at someone like Ian Poulter from the European side, never won a major champion, but he is a hero for those Europeans because of his play in the Ryder Cup. And so it's all that combined. The team component too is just something you don't see on the PGA Tour on the week-to-week basis. And so it really is just different from anything we see in golf every week.
All right. Who are the key players to watch on both sides?
You know, typically you want to get cute with a question like this. You want to go down the roster, but if the big boys don't show up for either team, they're going to have a hard time competing for this Ryder Cup. And so for the U.S., that's obviously world number one, Scottie Scheffler. In 2023, he actually cried after he lost 9-8 to Ludwig Åberg and Victor Hovland. Members of the European press were asking Ludwig yesterday, hey, how did it feel to make Scottie Scheffler cry, beating him that badly? I think he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think Scottie Scheffler's in for a great Ryder Cup. The putter is so much better and such a more comfortable spot compared to 2023. And then Rory McIlroy on the European side. I think of the 24 players in this competition, the most pressure is on Rory this week just because he called his shot after winning at Marco Simone, saying that Europe is going to win here at Bethpage Black. It's very difficult to win road Ryder Cups that we've seen. The last one to do it, 2012 at Medina. Europe coming back from a 10-6 Sunday singles deficit. Rory was on that team as well as Captain Luke Donald. So I think those two players are definitely the ones to look out for.
All right, Patrick, and all eyes are going to be on Xander Schauffele, who just had a rib injury that had him out for 2 months. Can you talk about the pressure he's under going into this competition?
I hate lost seasons for great players in the game, and Xander Schauffele is still the world number 3. But like you mentioned, got off to a slow start in 2025 because of that rib injury. Missed the Tour Championship for the first time in his career. We haven't seen him in a month either. He wasn't in that pseudo training camp in Napa with Team USA because he just welcomed his first child into the world as well. But by all accounts, he looks sharp out there. He's super focused, preparing like it's a major championship. And I think Xander Schauffele is the type of player, if he plays like Xander Schauffele of 2024, or at least a little bit like that more compared to what he played like this year, he's going to put U.S. in a very, very good spot. They're going to be very difficult to beat just because he elevates his game sort of into that realm of Scottie Scheffler. So I think there is a bit of pressure on Xander. And if he does rise to the occasion, he'll put the red, white, and blue in a really good spot.
And what would a win mean for the U.S. team?
I think it would confirm a lot of Keegan Bradley's decisions. Remember, that was kind of the big story all of 2025. Will he play? Won't he play? What is he going to do with the captaincy? And I think coming after 2021, where the U.S. won 19-9, the largest margin of victory in Ryder Cup history, a lot of people assumed it was going to be a decade of dominance for the U.S., and obviously that has not been the case. I think the backroom stuff has been very lackadaisical compared to the European side. The continuity that Europe has, the team that Europe has, is always the envy of the U.S., I would say. And I think if Keegan Bradley is able to lead the U.S. to this victory, I think it kind of confirms maybe some of those processes, some of those controls on the back end and the leadership aspect is starting to roll in the right direction and is able to compete with Europe in that regard.
All right, Patrick McDonald, golf writer at CBS Sports. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, for all the latest on the Ryder Cup, head to cbsnewyork.com.